Unless you've been living under a rock lately, you've definitely heard the term UGC, or user-generated content, and you've probably also been thinking, how can I get paid by brands without having to post any content, right? If you're already an influencer, you know the struggle of that pressure that comes with sharing a post and hoping that it's gonna perform well. So any situation that lets us be creative without that pressure is always welcome, if you ask me. One checklist item that you're gonna need to complete before you become a profitable UGC creator is to have a portfolio. So today I'm gonna be sharing how to make that UGC portfolio so that you can share it with brands and hopefully get hired for a ton of really great jobs. Hello my friends, I'm Kristen and welcome back to my channel. I'm a content creator myself, as well as the owner of Soulcialmate and the host of Social Scoop podcast, where we teach creators how to turn their online influence and creativity into a profitable, self-sustaining business. Each week in our videos, you're gonna get all the tea that you need in order to turn your creativity into a business that's really thriving and hopefully allows you to one day quit your full-time job. Now, don't forget that we had a podcast interview on Social Scoop with Galindo, who is a UGC creator and provided us with so much great insight on how to get started specifically in UGC. That episode is available now wherever you love to listen to your podcasts. Now, don't forget that timestamps are down below in the description if you want to hop around and find exactly what you're looking for. Let's dive right into it. Now, first of all, what actually is user-generated content? The crazy thing about UGC is that it's actually not a new term. This is something that we've just seen popping up, especially on TikTok as of recently, but creators have been creating content for brands' usage for years now. It's really just always been called content creation, but UGC is actually a pretty new term in the way that it's used. What UGC technically is where a creator is creating content that the brand is going to be using specifically in their marketing, whether that's social media, that's ads, any other type of content that they want to put out, but the creator is not responsible for posting any of it. You're essentially playing photographer or videographer here. Now, brands are hiring creators for UGC, first of all, because it's a lot cheaper than them putting on an entire production where they have to hire models, photographers, stylists, retouchers, I mean, the list goes on. And it also allows the brand to have multiple different voices on their page talking about their experience with the product. UGC also feels a lot more authentic and relatable to potential customers versus a model with perfect skin or perfect hair who's talking about how much they love the product. Now, what is a UGC portfolio? Just like any other job where you want people to see your work in order to hire you, this is where you're gonna put all your best work together so that you can present it to brands to say, look, here's what I can do for you. This will help them gauge what type of creator you are and see if the type of content you create matches up with what they're looking for. Now, not every creator needs a UGC portfolio, but honestly, I believe that it never hurts to have one just in case a brand does ask for it. You have it ready and you don't have to scramble to put one together. Now, when I say that not every creator needs one of these portfolios, if you are a creator who already has stellar work and versatile work shown on your social media platforms, a brand might be able to look at that and see exactly the type of content you create and make a decision. But if you're a creator who maybe posts about one niche but can create content in other niches, or maybe you post one style of content on your profile but are capable of creating a lot of other kinds, this is where a portfolio is gonna come in handy. Ideally, as a creator, you wanna show how versatile you can be so that a brand can feel comfortable hiring you for different types of content. Now, how can you make your UGC portfolio? If you're a part of the Soulcialmate monthly creator membership, we actually have a portfolio template that we're giving you for free, and that also comes with our Becoming a UGC Creator ebook that we put together that tells you top to bottom, start to finish, exactly everything that you need to actually make a business out of doing UGC. That ebook and portfolio is also available in our Etsy shop if you're not a member, but you can become a member and actually get it along with so many other resources at a better price. Now, aside from that template in our membership, you can also use Canva to create your own template or use one of the templates that they have and customize it. Now, if you do go onto Canva and type in user-generated content portfolio, chances are you're not going to find anything, so you might have to take a portfolio for a photographer or a videographer and do a lot of customization with it. What's interesting about a UGC portfolio is it's different than just a photographer or a videographer's portfolio, because not only do you need to show your content, but you also need to talk about you as a creator and your experience. So having just the things that come on a portfolio for a photographer or videographer honestly just isn't gonna cut it for UGC, which is why I say you're gonna have to probably do a lot of customization with it. One thing about Canva that's really cool is that once you created your portfolio there, you can actually publish it as a website. So you'll be able to set send that website to potential brand partners, and any changes that you make will update in real time to that website so that you can consistently update it without constantly having to download new PDFs. Now, there's also a ton of really great UGC portfolio templates on websites like Etsy or Creative Market. If you search UGC portfolio, content creator portfolio, or even worst case photography portfolio, you'll definitely be able to find something to use as a good starting point there. And typically these are pretty inexpensive, running anywhere from $5 to $20, but it's really a one-time investment because you can change it as much as you need to after you have a good starting point. Now, the big question is, what needs to go in this portfolio? What should it look like? First things first, we want to tell the brand about you. So any information that we can include that tells a brand, here's who I am as a creator, is great to include. In this area, I really love to talk about my experience because I think if you are someone with a lot of photography or videography experience, that can definitely set you apart from a lot of people who are just getting into this. Now, it's also not mandatory that you include social media stats like you would on a media kit. However, I think this can actually speak volumes if you have really great stats. For example, if you are a TikTok creator and you have a bunch of videos that get a ton of views, that is going to show the brand that you know how to create a video that converts well and that gains traction. So I think this is a great stat to include if you have impressive video views. Again, when I tell you all the things that are going in here, just keep in mind the entire time, whatever can set you apart as a creator, that's what you want to include. The second thing that you want to have in here, if applicable, is brands that you've worked with in the past. If you're a creator who's been lucky enough to work with huge brands, household names that people are going to know when they see that logo, these are really impressive things that you should include, and again, they'll set you apart. For me, I really love to include the brands what I've worked with in logos towards the bottom of my portfolio so that I can show these are all the brands that I've worked with, and I can do the same for you. And yes, even if you've worked with a brand on a gifted basis, it's okay to include that logo. It doesn't need to be only brands that you've worked with in a sponsored capacity. Now next, the most obvious and important part, your actual portfolio. Just as a photographer or video, your work is going to speak for itself. Now make sure that when you're including your photography or videography work in your portfolio, you're only including your best work. I also suggest making sure that you have a great variety of the types of content that you can create, especially with video. For example, you can share trending videos you've made, talking to the camera videos, shorter videos, longer videos. For photography, you could share lifestyle shots, product shots. Again, anything that's going to show this is the wide range of content that I'm comfortable creating is going to set you apart. This next thing is really great if you can get it. However, it's not always possible for everyone right off the bat, but case studies are something that will really set you apart in your portfolio. If you've been able to work with brands, a case study basically shows this is the content that I made for this brand and this is what happened. So for example, if it's video content that you made that the brand posted on their TikTok, maybe after a few weeks of it being up, you go take screenshots of the views on that video. If that video saw a ton of really great responses, it got a lot of comments, a lot of likes, that's a great case study to show a brand because they're gonna see that and be like, wow, we want that too. Any proof you have such as this that shows you're going to create great content that's going to convert is seriously something that please include it in there. Now, I also suggest lastly including your contact information. This should go without saying, but we want the brands to know how to actually contact you. So I typically leave my email, my website, and honestly my phone number as well because I'm comfortable talking to a brand however they want to contact me. This is kind of the age-old debate. You've probably heard this question a lot and seen a lot of different answers. I feel like it's a huge debate within the UGC community, but should you include your rates on your portfolio? Honestly, I feel like I have a pretty neutral opinion about it. So for me, I have two versions of my portfolio. I have one version that has all of my portfolio work, stats that are great, case studies, and then I have another version that's that exact PDF, except it has another page on it with my rates. Typically, I like to feel out the brand to see which of those versions that I should send to them, but remember this, at the end of the day, you're going to end up sending that brand your rates at some point, so why not just send them the version with the rates? Sometimes I think creators don't like to send their rates because they are afraid that it's going to make the brand get scared and walk away, but at the end of the day, do you really want to be working with brands who are scared of your rates and don't want to pay them? For me, I like to just get it out on the table most of the time and say, look, these are my rates. I always like to let brands know that I can be a little bit flexible, but this is pretty much what you're gonna get. I also like having my rates in my portfolio because I think it's a really professional way of presenting those numbers. Sometimes if you're just sharing the numbers in an email, it doesn't really come across as the most professional. And because this is a business, however you can treat it professionally is always something that you're gonna wanna do. If you've made it this far and you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Make sure to hit that big red subscribe button so that you can catch up with us every week for all the tea on what you need to know to be a successful creator and really turn this thing into a business. Turn on the bell notification too so that as soon as we post our new videos, you can watch them, ask all the questions you have, and even connect with us so that we can help you be successful. Also, don't forget, we have a podcast episode all about becoming a UGC creator with Galindo, who is an amazing creator. She even taught me so much about UGC in this episode, so I think you're going to love it. You can find that episode down in the description below or anywhere that you love to listen to your podcasts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.